at the end of the day, how can you expect anyone in your life to love you if
Yeah.
you can't love yourself?
100%.
And I was forcing other people to give me love when I didn't
Mm.
even love myself. And now I am obsessed with myself.
All right, ladies, welcome back to this week's episode. I am joined by the beautiful Chandre. How are you today, babe?
I am really excited to be
Oh,
here.
I'm so happy you're here. You actually told me a few moments ago that you like to be called Dre, and I'm so for it. And I don't know why, but I thought of like Dr. Dre and just,
Yeah.
the
Makes me
OG.
seem a little bit more I don't know, a bit more gangster.
Well,
Even
you're
though I'm like a
fabulous on
big
your own.
marshmallow. Yeah, literally.
Amazing, honey. The reason I've asked Dre onto the episode today is not only is she my fabulous neighbor and we cat sit for each other, we have each other's backs, but I stumbled across your Instagram and just you as a person, and you ooze confidence and self-worth. And I know you truly believe in that message and just self-love and loving yourself no matter what. So I really wanted to get you on here today because that's what we're here for, to lift the gals up and to fall in love with ourselves. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing currently in your day-to-day life.
So at the moment, I am a plus size curve model with Chadwick's. I'm also a flight attendant. I have been for 7 years, been modeling for about 3 now, maybe 4, coming up 4. And yeah, no, it's been like I think everyone's journey towards self-love
Mm.
is so different and so up and down. And don't get me wrong, there are those days where I look at myself and I'm like, oh, but then I snap back out of it and I'm like, you're still a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
I heard
that.
you swear on a
Bad
podcast once.
bitch.
So I was like,
That's amazing,
um,
baby.
but yeah, I don't know. Obviously it's been super up and down, but I've really come to really truly love myself. And
Mm.
I just think that my saying is always one person's trash is another person's treasure. Like,
Oh.
no, but that's it. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But you know
Mm.
what? The people that I want in my life, I'm going to be their cup of tea. And that's just what I
Powerful.
always believe, especially in relationships and things. Like I always tell my friends, they're like, oh, but no one. I'm like, yeah, but there is going to be someone that likes you.
Mm. And you're not doing it for other people's approval either. Like, as long as you love
No.
yourself, you'll attract people that love you for you.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
I just think that you you accept the love that you think you deserve. I saw this on your page and I
Yeah.
was like, but that I say this to all my friends. You
Mhm.
accept the love that you think that you deserve, not only in relationships, but also in friendships.
Mm.
And it's also just fake it till you make it, really.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just fake it. If you don't think that you're good enough or worthy enough, fake that you're good enough and
Yeah.
worthy enough.
You'll
And
trick your brain.
that's
Yeah.
literally what I did. So the reason I sort of fell into, because I'm obviously curvier, I'm
Mhm.
bigger. I've never really been a small girl. I've never really been small my entire life. And I grew up in a household where I was put on diets at 8 years old. And
Mhm.
there wasn't really a big um like self-worth in my household. Like me and my sister grew up always being like, oh, we're never going to be good enough, we're never pretty enough, we're never this. And I think just one day I just woke up and I was like, I'm just going to try. I think the thing that actually clicked for me was I was out with a friend and I was helping her. She was drunk. We were having a great night, we were walking home and these group of guys, probably like they they were 18, whatever, and they were like, yeah, you're so fat to me.
Oh,
And I think
beautiful.
after that, something clicked in my brain that I was literally like, I will not let
Mm.
people see me this way.
Mm.
And so I changed my mindset and I feel like everything changed after that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I started attracting more people to me because I was like, I'm going to put myself forward the way that I want people to see me, even if I
Yeah.
don't necessarily believe, but even if I didn't necessarily believe it at the time, I was like, I'm going to put myself forward and show the person that I want people to see. And then they started seeing it.
Mm. I'm like crying over here. That was,
Oh,
I'm like, fuck, I just want to come over
that's
and
so
give you a
sweet.
hug. That's so awful, but so empowering. And it's that turning point for you was almost like the weight of other people's opinions was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck this. And do you get that a lot? Like that really negative opinions and negative self-talk and all of it kind of, I'm assuming, built up to this one moment where you're like, I just can't do it anymore. Like I need
Yeah.
to do it for myself.
Like it was so hard because I was telling myself at home I was fat and ugly and disgusting every single day. Like I was like already doing it at home. I was being, and then it was just like build up and build up. And then this like little skinny twig man with a shitty personality
Mm-hmm.
did this horrible thing to me. And at the end of the day, I was like, at the end of the day, am a good person. And
Yeah.
we're all going to be old and ugly eventually. At least I've got a good heart and at least I come from a good place.
Yeah.
So I think just that sort of snapped in my head and it sticks with me till this day. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to let people like this boy, and like I truly hope he's happy and I hope that he's become a better
Of
person,
course.
but I will not let people's opinion of me like that be who I am because it's
Mm.
not.
Why do you think it took that one moment to shift? Like, what was it about that one moment? Was it just your
I,
turning point or?
I think it was just like something clicked. There's a few other instances like I've fallen back into like self-deprecation as we all do,
Yeah.
but like there's been a few other clicking moments, but that was like the first clicking moment in my
Yeah.
brain that I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to stop letting people's opinion affect me because that
Mm-hmm.
affected me so much.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just grew past that, and you can literally call me the biggest most disgusting person ever and it wouldn't faze me
Mm.
because I know that I'm just not your cup of tea
Yeah.
and I'm just not your body type, but that doesn't mean someone else doesn't think that I'm the
Mm-hmm.
most beautiful human alive.
Yeah.
Because there has been.
Yeah.
I've had like some of the most beautiful men I've ever seen in
People
my
are
life
lining up, honey.
telling
Lining
me
up.
that I am stunning. But then I've also had men be like, you're not my type. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but that is fine because we
Yeah.
all have different types.
Yeah. And you're so content with who you are. That's what I try and teach people is you can try and change your appearance so much, but if you don't change this, like the way you look about the way you think you look about yourself, the way you feel about yourself, unless you change that and you're content with who you are, it doesn't matter how much you change yourself or the people that you avoid or what you try and do to change it. Is that's the most important part, is being content with yourself first.
100%. And I know this is so cliche, but at the end of the day, how can you expect like anyone in your life to love you if
Yeah.
you can't love yourself?
100%.
And I was forcing other people to give me love when I didn't
Mm.
even love myself. And now I like am obsessed with myself. I love
Yeah.
myself to death. I am my own best friend.
Oh,
But I am my
I
own
love
best
that.
friend. And I am my favorite person. And I know that I'm going to, and all my friendships in my life, I always attract, like yourself as well. Like I feel like I attract these beautiful people
Yes.
into my life, but it's
Ditto.
because I love myself and I believe that I deserve good people in my life.
That is powerful. That's like, it's not even the external confidence that you have, it's mental as well. Like you value yourself so much that you know the type of people that are worthy of hanging around you and that you deserve to be surrounded by. And it's something I always talk about is you are the average of the 5 people you hang around as well. And I'm assuming as part of this process where you realized, hang on a minute, I'm not putting up with this anymore. Did you go through a process of eliminating those quote unquote triggers for you? Like, did you get rid of a couple of people that maybe were bringing you down or stop hanging around certain places? Like, what did that process look like for you once you realized I'm not putting up with this anymore?
So for me, I'm a color, which, and like I've had partners in the past, and like for me, if we are ending things in like a friendship or a relationship, I will block you and there will be no further contact.
Yeah.
That's just how, because I think that if you don't serve a purpose in my life, there's no point in us trying to like go back and try and be friends or whatever. Like I believe that my self-worth deserves better. And if you empty your cup, the universe fills your cup with all these things, and if you empty your cup of the bad, the universe will fill it back up with good. So I just empty people as I don't see fit my life anymore. And it's not in like a horrible, oh, I just like get rid of friends.
Good.
It's like if my friendships don't serve me anymore, or like we will have a discussion and I'm like, look, I love you as a person, but for right now, this friendship can't work, but maybe in the future, or relationships. But yeah, I'm like a cutthroat.
That's good.
If you don't serve me like in a positive way anymore, I can't continue sort of working on that with you, because as I say, I'm the number one person in my life. Put me first.
That is huge. That's so powerful. And that takes confidence itself, being able to be assertive and set those boundaries and say, no more. I'm good. You've served your purpose. See you later.
Yeah.
In a good, empowering way.
Oh, yes. And I would never be malicious or nasty about it, because I don't think that that's where I would never want that happening to me. So, but I think that everyone sort of deals with who they let into their life. And some people, like I see friends of mine who keep going back to exes or keep going back, and I'm like, I don't know how you can do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, once you're out, I'm like, yep. Everyone comes into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Yes, agreed.
Some people just aren't my lifetime.
Yeah. That's good. I like the way that you've said that. They're not your lifetime. I like that. They just come to your life to serve a purpose, teach a lesson, bring value for what you need at that point in time. And then it's okay to let them go as well.
Exactly. But I'm also not their lifetime, you know? Like I'm also like not their, how do you put it? Like I was their reason. I was a reason for them in life. And like everyone comes into your life, every single small, it's a butterfly effect.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. I love that. And you mentioned, so obviously you had this first moment, and we all have those moments that are just ingrained in our brain where we switch, or we think a different way, or we act a different way. So for you, what did you then start doing to work on your self-worth and work on your confidence?
So I started, so this wasn't probably the best way. So after the situation, I developed a quite serious like eating disorder because of this. And I started learning how to like love myself, but maybe not in the best way. I've grown out of that now. Like I've definitely like grown past that now. But all through like my uni days, me and my friend, we really struggled together, and we were both going through breakups, you know, when you're 18 and it's your first love. And so after that night, I kind of was like, okay, something needs to change. And I fell into sort of like eating disorder behavior. And then I was like, okay, this is not it either. And this is like another point where you're like, okay, I'm low again. And trying to find other ways to sort of like
all lessons,
be the person that you're supposed to be. But I think after that, I lost a lot of weight. And for the first time in my life, people were like, okay, like worried about me a little bit.
Okay.
So people were sort of worried about me for a while. But I kind of grew past that as well, and got out of that, which is very grateful. I love my food now, and
good.
I'm a big foodie, and would never go back to that sort of mentality again. I think it was just time and place, breakups, and
sounds like you had good people around you as well to kind of, even though you were going through really dark times and you were trying to find your feet and like what works for me, like no one knows how to work on our confidence or self-worth. You unfortunately have to go through some hard times to understand what works for you, and that includes going through the trenches a little bit, but at least you had really good people around you to pick you back up and put you back on course.
100%. I feel like I'm so grateful for every single experience that I've had, like every single heartbreak, every single horrible experience. Like if I didn't go through all that, I would not be as strong and as confident as I am now. And like
Mm,
I wouldn't love myself as much. And like I also feel I feel like the whole process has just been so up and down, but I feel like finally I'm
mm.
where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, honey. Good for you. When did you first realize that you wanted to get into modeling? Like, what empowered that decision?
So I actually applied. This is so weird, but I when I was in uni, um, and I think that was after the sort of switch in my head, the first switch when I was like, okay, I want to do plus size modeling.
Mm-hmm.
I, this is when plus size modeling wasn't even like really that big.
Yeah, yeah.
But I applied to like City Chic when I
Mm-hmm.
was 17, 18 and never heard back, which is fine. They're a massive company, but I never heard back. And then I started sort of posting things on my Instagram of me in like a bikini and being like, this is what a like a body like
Mm-hmm.
a this is what a normal body looks like in a bikini, or not like normal because
Yeah.
normal doesn't exist,
Yeah. Yeah.
but this is just a human body in a bikini pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I started doing that more and sort of hashtagging plus size and loving life and self-love.
Yeah.
And then a company reached out to me, and I'm always going to be so thankful for this company because
Aw.
the lady that owns it is incredible. The
Yeah.
company is Tropic Labs,
Yeah.
but she contacted me and she's like, I love your message.
Mm.
Um, would you like to do a shoot? And so I did a shoot with her, and then an agency reached out, and then it sort of like went on from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the modeling world has been crazy, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely been
Mm.
some downsides, but the ups are so worth it. And just
Yeah.
seeing how it's all changing,
Yeah. Yeah.
how every single person is included, and even gender
Yeah.
isn't going to exist soon, which is so
Yeah.
exciting
Yeah.
for our non-binary friends,
Yeah.
and
That's
everything
incredible.
about that. Yeah.
And you're such a big part of it. Like, obviously you've been in like Meshki and Stacks. Like I don't even know if they're like the top. There for me is like, wow, that's crazy. But for you, you might have even been in bigger things than that. But
Oh no, that was exciting. I
that's
was
pretty,
like,
yeah, that's freaking
woo!
massive, girl. Like, good for you. And you must feel
Thank
so
you.
proud to be part of that new modeling movement of inclusivity and like everybody is beautiful. And um, what was probably your most proudest? Is that a word? Proudest? Most proudest? What are you most proud of in your modeling career so far?
Um, honestly, it's I feel like I have like I feel like I'm not even it's not even happening. It's so weird. Like I feel like I haven't really sat down and been like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you." Like, but I
Mm,
always it's so weird, but I think everyone should do this, but I always talk to my younger self and I'm like,
same.
"Girl,
Good
you're a
girl.
model."
Oh,
I know. I
I
always talk
love
to
like
my
inner
younger
child
self.
talk. It like gets me every time, but that's
Yeah, in a
amazing.
child talk, it honestly works. But I always am like, guess what you're doing? You're doing
Yeah.
this. And
Did you used to have vision boards when you were younger?
oh my God.
Fuck off.
I
There's
don't
a
know if you
vision
can
board
see, but
right
there's a
there.
vision board.
Yes. Was modeling or just like self-love and stuff on there for you?
Um, I didn't do vision boards when I was younger, but I think something that I really wanted to do was
Mm.
just get I never thought that I was good enough when I was
Mm.
younger. Like I never thought. Even now to this day, I'm like, why am I getting chosen? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what is this? Like, I think,
Yeah.
but this is also like the person that I used to be
Hmm.
inside is like, what the hell is happening? What the
Yeah.
heck? But
Yeah. You're
so
still on the journey. Like you're still going, you're still
yeah.
growing. It's a process, right? You're not going to change overnight.
Oh, 100%. But it's this modeling thing is so surreal, and it's so weird to me that people want me.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
like, oh
that's
my God, it's so
amazing.
cool.
That's good. And forgive me if this is too personal, but I know
Mm.
you mentioned like growing up the uh, not the culture, the just the ideologies in your household was like diets and losing weight and you never felt good enough. Like how is that relationship with your parents now that you're a plus size model?
So yeah, I mean, growing up, I think that it's so important and this is for like the mum listeners,
Yeah.
never ever put yourself down in front of your kids.
Mm.
Like, it's so important to
Yeah.
just
Okay.
love yourself unconditionally in front of your children, because it really affected me and my sister more than we may have realized at the time.
That's
It's like,
huge. Yeah.
and it's hard for that generation as well. But my mom used to constantly put herself down,
Yeah.
put us down, and and now that I'm a plus size model, I think that I don't even really think they know
Mm.
what I do, really. Like, I send
Yeah.
them photos, but I think that they maybe don't realize.
Like,
And
oh,
like,
more selfies. No.
yeah, I mean, they're a little bit older, so they don't
Yeah.
really know what like Meshki is and Stack
Yeah.
is. So I
Yeah.
don't think, and like, I sent them the photo of the billboard, and they were like,
Oh,
"Oh,
bless.
that's lovely."
That's nice, dear.
I know. So I
Oh,
don't
mum,
think
I'm on a
they,
friggin' billboard.
yeah. But I mean, me and my parents have definitely had like up and down relationship. I actually didn't speak to them for a few
Oh,
years.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. But we're like okay now. We're good and
That's good.
on the mend. And I think that that really helped, like, healing that sort of inner child for
Yes.
me a little
Yeah.
bit.
That message, I've never actually heard someone talk about it like that, but just a strong message for mums, just about the way that you talk about yourself in front of your kids. Because obviously, the experience and qualifications I have, we're always taught that our belief systems, everything is ingrained in us from the ages of 0 to 7, whether we have a conscious awareness of it or not, whether it's subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
If you grow up in a household where your mum criticizes herself, puts herself down, you start to think and believe, oh, like, am I good enough? Like, maybe that's normal to put yourself down and criticize yourself. So I've never heard someone say, don't talk about like that in front of your kids. Maybe that's subconsciously a lesson for your mum, seeing you in these photos now. Like, it's almost empowering for herself as well.
I think it is. Like, I speak to her about it all the time, and I'm like, you can wear that bikini if you want. And she's like, no,
Yeah.
no. But one
Aww.
day we'll get there. Slowly, I'm picking at her. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's so
Yeah.
important to just, and I can't wait to have my own kids. My kids are going to come out and they're going to be like
Oh, so cute.
the most confident kids in
Yes.
school. They're going to be like,
Yes.
I am the prettiest little girl in this whole
Yes.
classroom, but so are
Yeah.
all of you. We're all the prettiest,
100%. I have a younger sister. She's fresh in high school. And I just remember how traumatic high school was for me. And every time I post something or talk about something, she's always in my mind. And like, I worry for her because she's at that age, like, the hormones are going, we're growing boobies and the acne and all that stuff. I'm like, I know what it's like being a young teenage girl, right? And I always think about it. And the same with my kids. Like, that's why I'm so passionate about running this business, is I want her to not only look up to me, but see all of the messages that I'm trying to give to women. And I want to inspire her as well. So like, she's not even here yet, but she's there,
Yeah, but you're such an inspiration as well. And also, you should model.
I have done modeling. I have nothing like super serious, but just, did you fucking go on Model Mayhem when you were younger? Like, do you remember that?
No.
Model Mayhem. It was just like this random website where anyone can sign up and photographers and aspiring models would connect and photo shoots and all that stuff.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, I've dibble dabbled in modeling. And I loved it. But saying that, this is about me now, but
No.
saying that, like, I have this belief about myself that's like, I'm not a plus size model, but I'm also not like skinny enough to be a normal model. Like, is that fucked up to say? Like,
No.
I'm in the in between. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's always a need for the in between if you feel like that's what
I'm
you
a
are.
special in between. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you're so hot. And you've got like these pretty green eyes.
Oh,
You've
look
got the
at
long
you.
hair.
Thank you, babe.
Yes, girl.
Thank you. You'll see, just love you. Just love you so much. Okay, let's go back to your modeling career, because I know there's this stigma, or at least up until now, there's been this stigma of the modeling world where your weight is criticized. You're always told to lose weight. Every model like loses their self and their self-worth, and it becomes very toxic. Have you encountered much of that in your experience?
A little bit.
Okay.
There has been times, not times, I shouldn't say times. It's been like once when my weight was a discussion,
Okay.
but I shut that down very quickly. And I was like, this is why
Honey.
this is why you hired me, baby K.
Yeah, good. I love that. Good for you.
Yeah. But I mean, every shoot that I do is the customer or the client, sorry, is always going to be plus size friendly.
Yeah.
So they know my weight. They
Yeah.
know my measurements. They know everything about me. So if I get to a shoot and they're like, you are too big, then it'll be like, well,
Just
why
not
am
your
I?
cup of tea. Just not for you.
But that's the thing, right? Like but no one's ever said that. Like all the people that I've worked with have been so incredible. Like all the photographers, everyone, they're really, really accepting, and they know, I'm hired as a plus size woman. Like I'm obviously going to be bigger than the other models. That's what I'm hired there for.
Yeah.
The
niche. Yeah.
And so no one's ever I've had like one small experience where there was like a little bit of a discussion, but I was like, ooh, no.
You nipped it
But
in
it
the bud.
doesn't mean that I am not trying to be healthy as well. Like I drink way too much wine. That's
good for you. That's your treat. I love it.
Yeah, but look, I think that as long as you're happy and healthy, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like be who you want to be. And if you want to eat a cheeseburger every single day for a week,
Love
you
that.
eat a cheeseburger every day for a week.
Yeah.
If you're happy, just bloody do it.
Yeah. And you are obviously just oozing with happiness and confidence. So it just goes to show, like proof is in the pudding or in the cheeseburger, if you like cheeseburgers better.
Oh, I love
oh God.
We can get you a vegan one.
Oh yeah, thank you. The vegan Niche does such a good vegan cheeseburger. I know because I used to have like really bad problems with binge eating as well. And I was already vegetarian at the time, and I used to binge really badly on like chocolate and ice cream and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, also for the animals, I'm just going to go that one step further and be a vegan. That way I'll eliminate all the bad food that I can't eat. And now there's vegan ice cream, vegan HJs, vegan fucking cookies. I'm like, shit. Here we are again.
I was veggie for like 3 or 4 years. I can't really remember, but I was veggie for 3 or 4 years, and I used to travel to LA for work all the time. And the vegan food there is insane.
So good. Yeah.
I used to like go to like places and get like chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
But vegan.
Yeah. It's a whole thing over there. Like where Australia is kind of catching up now, but when I went to LA, it was insane. I was like, what? This is like another world. Why do I not have vegan chicken and waffles and Perth?
It's absolutely insane. Yeah, it was good for my vegetarian life.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
You mentioned, and I think this is very important to point out to the listeners as well, is just because you work on yourself and you feel confident and you're very confident with who you are and how you look and you value yourself does not mean you're going to have moments of you feel that all the time. And I think there's this idea or this pressure that once you go over that wall and you feel confident, you're not allowed to fall back onto the other side, if that makes sense. Like it's almost that judgment for yourself. Like, oh, I've told everyone I feel confident, but I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror today. So I think it's super important to acknowledge that it's a constant journey and it's 100% normal to have those moments, right?
Whenever my friends tell me that they're having like a bad self-confidence day, because a lot of my friends come to me and they're like, Chandra, I'm having a shit day. And I'm always like, you know what? Be sad today, cry, be angry at yourself, do this, do that, but tomorrow, no more.
Cut the shit, baby girl.
Yes. Let yourself have one day. I always give myself one day, or I'm like, okay, I'm just going to give myself tonight to just be upset and just be sad at myself and be angry at the way I look. But then tomorrow I'm going to get back on that horse and I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and I'm going to be like, you are the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I go
coming out of that mirror, girlfriend.
Yes.
It's on fire.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
And I'll look at myself and be like, you know what? It's okay. Have your sad day today.
Yeah.
You've got one day, move forward.
Yeah. And I know you've spoken about like fake it till you make it. And I have also done episodes on this podcast about the power of positive self-talk. Like we've somehow, because we weren't born with self-doubt, we've somehow taught ourselves to believe that we're less than, or we're not sexy, or we need to change this and this. So we literally need to do the opposite and retrain our brain retrain that positive self-talk into believing that we are beautiful. So I know you mentioned, I'm assuming you do like those positive affirmations to yourself when you are feeling low. You try to talk yourself back up.
Oh, 100%.
You're like, if you were in my house and you heard what I said.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
no.
so good.
100%. I'm like, there's a song and it's called I Am. I'm not sure if you've heard about it.
Does anyone, who sings it?
Wait, I'll find it for you.
I just have Lizzo in my head because she's like the epiphany of your gal best friend with this kind of stuff.
One of my favorites. Did you know that apparently if you sing, it can it's like manifesting, so you need to be careful what you sing.
What do you mean? Like sing positive affirmations and it will happen? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like if I saw this thing on TikTok and it was like, oh, you can manifest if you sing something a lot. So I'm like,
stop it, mate. You're gonna hear me from next door all week.
So it's called I Am by Baby Tate and Flo Milli. And like I played this with my friend in the car because she was like having a bad day, and I was like, okay, it's I Am time.
I love that.
You'll listen to it after, or like the listeners listen to it, but it's so good. And I know every single word to the song, but it's just like a positive, like kind of rappy song, but it's really good.
I love that. When I was going through a breakup, I made myself a Spotify playlist called You're a Bad Bitch, and it has like Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, like all those super empowering songs.
I have a playlist.
Like, I've got it right here. Yeah.
Bad bitches.
Are you serious?
It's got like all of those girls on it too.
How good is it? I listen to that like at the gym and stuff because that you're right. It's because you're not even saying it. It's somebody else in your ear reinforcing and bringing that like bad bitch out of you almost.
That's literally what I listen to at the gym. And I'm like, whenever my gym crush walks past, I'm like, oh yes, feeling myself.
Like, yeah, girl.
I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch.
You do those deadlifts when he walks past.
Yes.
I love that.
Squatting extra low. Yes.
Oh,
you can do it, girl.
Those little donkey kickbacks right at the right time. I see you, girl. I'm going to download that and I'm going to add it to my bad bitch playlist.
Do it.
Cool. Anything else that you want to cover? Any messages you'd like to send out to the beautiful ladies listening?
Just remember that you are all perfect just the way you are, including you, Jade. You're all so beautiful, and if you're not one person's cup of tea, you're going to be someone else's bloody bottle of Moscato. So
shit, I love it. Okay.
All right. So don't let other opinions get you down, because honestly, their opinions don't matter, and they're not the people you want in your life. You want the people that think that you're the most perfect human being ever.
I love that. It's not how do I change myself to suit this other person's want or need. It's how can I surround myself with people that love me for who I am. Like
100%. 100%.
Blew the lid off this. I love it. Yes. Oh, babe, thank you. I think just speaking to you now, and I really mean it when I say, and I'm kind of lost for words, but I really mean it when I say, like, you just ooze positivity and confidence, and I can't stop smiling every time I'm around you, and just listening to you speak now is just incredible. And I hope the listeners got so much out of it today as well. I know I definitely did. I'm going to listen to it and take your advice. I wrote some notes.
No, but if anyone wants to ever message me and being like, I'm having a shit day, I will stalk your Instagram and I will tell you literally everything that's perfect about you.
We're going to hold a weekly Zoom call and put on I Am, and we're all going to dance around our lounge room with Moscato.
Exactly. That's it, right?
This is a trend. We're going to start this.
Amen.
All right, darling. I would absolutely love if everyone could jump over to your Instagram and just have a look at how fantastic you are and slide into the DMs if they need that little Dre pump up. So where can they find you on Instagram?
So it's just Chandre __ and that is SHANDRE __ But yeah, if anyone ever wants some self-love, message me and be like, I'm having a down day, and I'll be like, you're a bad bitch.
They're like, okay, thank you, and they'll continue.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Dr. Dre is here to pump you up, you bad bitch. I love it.
Yes.
Oh, good girl. Well, thank you so much again, babe. I really appreciate it. This has been absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see you in a couple of seconds when I come over and give you a cuddle.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, babe. Bye.
Have a good night. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.